What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. Now, first things first, thank you, God, for another day and opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen today, in 2K22, I'm going to be making y'all the best 2K23 build if we're going to go ahead and remain with the same builder system. Now, before that, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And let's reach 50 likes on today's video. So let's go ahead and get started by making this build out of the small forward position. Now, the way that we're going to go ahead and make this build is if we're going to have the same exact builder going into 2K23 from 2K22. We're going to be able to pretty much create a build like this or similar. And today, I'm telling y'all, there's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to be talking about. New badges for 2K23, as well as what we should be looking forward to when it comes down to the builder system. Now, as for the height, I'm going to be going with a 6'7" build in 2K23. We all know weight is going to matter, especially with the new bully badge. So I'm going to max it out at 250 with a 7'1" wingspan. Now keep in mind, if we get the same exact builder system, from there I'm going to go ahead and remake this build in 2K23 just to show y'all exactly what I have been talking about. So with the finishing, I'm going to go with a 99 driving dunk, 89 for the driving layup, as well as a 58 close shot for a total of 22 finishing badges. Now, we get a good amount of Hall of Fame tiers here as well, but really keep in mind, after everything that we have been told about the finishing, going to be a key attribute when it comes down to 2K23, as well as probably one of the most broken and overpowered areas of the game. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the shooting. For the mid-range shot, I'm going to go with an 88, and we also did hear that in 2K23, middies are going to play a much bigger role than they did in the previous years. Now, with an 82 3-point shot, consider adding boost, and then once you get a takeover, consider adding on the extra 10 that we're normally getting when activated. Now, for the free throw, I'm going to go with an 87. Right there, that brings us up to a total of 27 shooting badges. Now, as for the offensive end, the finishing and the shooting is looking pretty perfect, and we're going to be able to take this build into any game mode, especially with the 87 free throw. Now, we got to go ahead and get into the playmaking. This is going to be another essential part about this build, so I did not want to go anything higher than 6'7", because I did want to maintain a certain ball handle, pass accuracy, but also the speed with ball. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for the pass accuracy, since in 2K23, bullet passer is tied into this area of the build, I'm going to go with an 85. As for the ball handle, I'm going to max it out at an 83. Then for the speed with ball, for my liking, I'm going to max this out as well. And that's going to bring us up to a total of 24 playmaking badges. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, I really like that we're able to get tight handles. Then from there, we also are still able to maintain handles for days as well. Now, these are probably the two most key essential badges for this area of the build, and as long as we have them maintained on, that's going to be perfect. Now, if you want to go ahead and try to get them for the Hall of Fame tier, go ahead and adjust your height and also the weight. But now from here, we're going to go ahead and leave the remaining attributes left over for the defense, but also the physicals. Now, for the interior defense, I'm going to go with an 82. This is pretty essential because it's going to allow us to guard inside, but also on the perimeter. Now, speaking of perimeter defense, I'm going to go with an 85. Steal or the block. You can pick between either of these two. I'm going to go with the 50 steal. Then for the block, I'm going to go with an 81. Right here, we get a total of 14 defensive badges. But remember, this year in 2K22, we were able to unlock at least 9 extra badges from each season, then another +4 from our rebirth or winning a college championship. So really take that into consideration going into 2K23. I really feel like they're going to give us the opportunity to unlock extra badges, but not only that, get even better attributes. Now let's go ahead and get into the physicals. I'm going to max out the speed, acceleration. As for the strength, I'm going to go with the 77. I know it's going to matter, especially for the bully badge. Now, for the vertical, if you want to be able to get all of the contact dunks, go with an 80. Stamina, I'm going to go with the 99. And this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. Now, the takeovers are probably going to play the hugest factor of this build when it comes down to adding boost. So you really need to consider, if you buy your own boost, that's going to give you a +4. Now, if we are still seeing defensive leader and floor general, both on Hall of Fame in 2K23, that's going to give us another +4, so +8 in total. And then now, once we take a look at the takeovers, we get the slashing, shot creating, sharpshooting with the lockdown defender takeover. Now, however you decide to go about this area of the build, make sure you base it off of your own preference. Now, for my liking, I would really consider ankle breaking shots takeover, just to be able to get better ankle breaking animations. Secondly, I would also consider limitless range. However you decide to go about it, make sure that you're looking forward to 2K23 and what you would consider picking for your first takeovers. Now, I'm going to go with sharpshooting for the first one. Second one, I would say the slashing is solid, but with that, you do have to take into consideration that we already do get a 99 overall when it comes down to the driving dunk. So, if you want to get the best possible defensive stats, I would really consider going with extreme clamps. That's what I'm going to go with and pair it up with the sharpshooting takeover. And as y'all can see, we have made the two-way mid-range maestro or maestro build. Now, I'm telling y'all, this is definitely going to be the build that I'm making going into 2K23 if the builder system remains the same. Now, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. What do y'all think about this build, and what kind of build are you looking forward to making coming day one on 2K23? Now, you can go ahead and comment down right now, which player are you trying to replicate, or even where are you tuning in from watching today? Now, with all the boosts taken into consideration, we get a +10 when activated with our takeovers for the sharpshooting as well as the defensive end. But then I did name 8 extra attribute boost when it comes down to if you buy your own boost as well as run with teammates that have on floor general and defensive leader. From here, we only got the badges remaining, so I'm telling you, as long as you made it to this point of the video and got the same exact build name and attributes, everything is going to work out perfectly okay. But now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. So we're going to go ahead and get after the finishing first. I'm going to go with Hall of Fame, Limitless Takeoff, as well as Posterizer. Now, for my liking, I'm going to run Gold Fearless Finisher, and that's going to take up 5 badges. For the final one, I would also go with Hall of Fame Slithery Finisher. Now, this is all based off my own preference. If you want to go about this a different way, make sure you do it after we have created the build, and then everything else is going to fall into place. But as for the shooting, I'm going to go with Gold Hot Zone Hunter as well as Hall of Fame Sniper. We have a good amount of badges in this area as well, so spread the wealth a little bit out of each area of this build. Now, I'm going to go with Gold Corner Specialist as well as Blinders. Then from there, I'm going to go with Silver Deadeye, Gold Green Machine, and then for the final badge, I'm going to throw on Bronze Volume Shooter. Now, we have 2 final areas of this build that we have to work with. I'm going to go ahead and get into the playmaking and really consider, with the extra 9 badges put towards this build, you're going to be able to play exactly like LeBron and do a little bit of everything. Now, I'm going to go with Silver Hyperdrive, Quick First Step, Unpluckable, and then Gold Tight Handles. Now, out of all the playmaking badges, I would have to say, if you want to break ankles, Tight Handles is going to be the #1 most important. But if you want to be able to dribble as long as possible, also go with Gold Handles for days. Now, for the final 2 badges, this is all based off your own preference. You can go with Stop and Go if you want to, or Silver Bullet Patcher. Now, let's go ahead and get into the defensive area. Now, this area, you really have to be specific with which badges that you do decide to go with. So for my liking, I'm going to go with Gold or either Silver Clamps. Now, we have 9 more remaining badges, and you definitely want to be sure that you're spreading the wealth and getting the most out of the defensive area. So I'm going to go with, again, Gold Intimidator, but if you want to go with Silver, that's perfectly okay as well. Now, we have 4 more badges. If you want to, you can definitely go with Gold Chase Down Artist or Silver Rim Protector. You can split it right down the middle if you wanted to go about it that way as well. But I'm telling you, you can go ahead and make sure that as long as you feel comfortable with how you set up the badges, that's going to be perfectly okay. But maybe you don't know which badges to put on, so that's why I'm here. And you can definitely go ahead and just be sure to follow along. And this is what the build is going to be looking like when it's in my hands. And as y'all can see, we get a total of 14 defensive badges. Then when we go ahead and get into the playmaking, we're going to be able to get 24, 27 when it comes down to the shooting, and then 22, finishing. Again, to everybody who made it to this point of the video, thank you so much for your support. Shout out to the Rich family, and thank you, God, once again for another day and another opportunity. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And let's go ahead and reach 50 likes on today's video. Again, comment down below, where did you tune in from today and what build are you looking to make in 2K23? But again, thank y'all for the support. Thank you, God. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.